time. Imagine getting 2 episodes out.
What a weekly
I actually
podcast?
did put an asterisk next to the word weekly in our description. I actually had to change that. It's like, listen, guys, we're trying. All right, that's the aim. That's the idea. You gotta cut us some slack here.
we have goals we're aiming towards.
Welcome everybody back to your
favorite
totally
grub.
weekly GrubCast. It's nice. How have you been? Did you all have a nice train ride over? I have a room for you in the guest room. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it'll
we
be
got
great.
tea on the stove.
It'll be so cozy and wonderful, man. But you know how it'd be more wonderful
How?
is if you were on that guest room bed, scrolling through our Discord server on your phone, talking to some sick Homestuck.
That
Discord
would be
server's
amazing.
links down in the description. It's pretty hype. It's sick. Follow us on Twitter at @GrubCast. There's stuff on there occasionally. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we're running amok.
Sometimes when I'm feeling particularly bad about myself, I'll go on Twitter and I'll do something in the GrubCast Twitter account. So, you don't want to miss that. And, of course, you could give us money on Patreon. And if you did that, you'd get cool stuff. If you gave us $3 on Patreon, then you would get a sick Discord role to show how hype and how just grotesquely wealthy you are.
I'd feel so special.
To the other peasants in the Discord server.
Like the real 1%.
Yeah, but if you want to be 0.5%, you can get $5 a month on Patreon.
Oh my
get
goodness.
an even sexier, cooler Discord role. And you'll get all the artwork for all the episodes with no logos on them, including the artwork on the screen right now of our fun little Trickster selves.
Oh my god, is that meth?
We're gonna get to that, but yes it is. And speaking of our patrons, I would like to thank them. I love them so much. They're super
our
cool
favorite. That's
and
canon.
Sick. Thank you to our $3 a month patron Notlama and our $5 patrons Leah, Karak Tooling, Lizard King, Changeable Landscape, Blue Liz, Toby Classic Expert, and my Homestuck Dante.
Homestuck, yes.
Thank you all so much. Fuck yes. They decided to give us a break on the fan art this week after the absurdity of last week.
Because of how crazy it went last time.
That was ridiculous. So no, we're getting some giving us a little time to relax,
recover from all that hot fan art.
Beautiful. We can jump straight into the Homestuck this time.
Let's get stuck in.
Oh, we're stuck in. All right, Arqueous Sprite is real. And beautiful.
So buff.
And I love him.
He is so buff.
So jacked. And weirdly horny all the time.
All the time.
I'm sweating. And he wants everyone to touch his muscles.
It does feel like a real mesh between the two.
It's most of what this whole section is Dirk.
Look at him. Look at how jacked he's got those things.
Look at how jacked his muscles are.
Ticket please guys.
Jacked. The ticket please guy is jacked. Man. Thank God Arqueous Sprite has come get our abs. Now we're talking. Beautiful. That's all there is to say about that section.
Yeah, there's really nothing else that happens.
It's just we're really basking in the glory of AR finally getting free will and loving being alive.
Yeah, man, he's having a great time,
and it's great, and I love that for him. Fuck yes.
We move on to I believe Jane.
It's Jake. We have a big section with Jake. Jane is not for a while now. We have a whole section with Jake.
Yeah.
Where Roxy's trying to talk to him. Trying to be like, hey, Jake, we need to talk about you being the worst, but Jake's la-di-dying over in the corner and not paying attention.
Right now he's doing a tattoo cover-up.
He's putting a sticker on top of a tattoo.
He drew a written marker, and then he's like, all right.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Roxy was trying to reach you, but you were so preoccupied with your Jerome sticker, you didn't notice. It was a rare lapse in awareness of your surroundings and your friends and their feelings, which you pride yourself in maintaining 24/7 as a dashing man of adventure. You refer to the unfaltering field of all-encompassing alertness as your Jake Dar, which you think compares favorably to the spider senses from the comic book. Jake's on top of his shit, as always. Jake would never let any friendship-related ailments reach him. Yeah. No, he's on top of that shit all the time.
All the time. the fabled Jake Dar.
The Jake Dar never fails. Good for him. But it's alright, because now we get a really long and important conversation with Caliborne.
Yes, our boy Cal.
Caliborne is here, talking to Jake, and he's basically saying, Jake, you're stupid and worthless. But that's good, and we're gonna be best friends now. I don't know how to add to that. That's what's happening.
That's really the crux of it. A weird parallel I see, not to anything in the comic, but actually to part 2 JoJo's. He's pulling a wham, wham.
Well, yes.
Where the point of this conversation is, yeah, you're fated to battle me at some point in the future. And I want to make sure you're enough of a challenge to actually be worth that combat.
Yeah, it's that type of beat. So he's like, giving him some advice about how he's gonna tell him how to god tier and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. All right, you're gonna die on your quest Sarswapagus, which is not even a quest bed. They end up going to the
sacrificial
slab. The sacrificial slab, but whatever. You got the gist of it. It's fine.
I didn't expect Caliborne to really get all the fine details right.
That's the plan. Jake, kill yourself, but like in a good way.
Kill yourself, please.
Caliborne did go to Jake and said, quote, you should kill yourself now. That's what he said, basically.
Kill yourself.
It's just like low tier god. It's just like low tier god. Low tier god tier.
Low tier god.
Incredible.
Oh, low tier Caliborne.
It's also kind of talked about how he has that same instinctual good, his like weird instinctual expertise with time, despite the fact that he is fucking stupid.
Yeah, he still is able to understand like these complex nuances of time loops and shit.
Because that's just like his deal as the Lord of Time.
Yeah, no, I command all of it, so I kind of get this. But Jake, he also has actually acquired some level of understanding for what hope is, but it doesn't really seem like that's anything outside of what he already knew himself, you know?
Well, I mean, as we talked about in the famed Classpect,
yeah,
the Classpect conundrum, famed GrubCast Classpect episode.
Yes,
hope is kind of like a aspect all about delusion and making delusions like the whole idea of like if I believe in it, it makes it slightly less fake.
Yeah,
that is hope shit.
Yeah, that screams hope. Believing in something even though all logic would tell you otherwise.
Yeah, so which is probably why Aridin's land was weirdly religion themed.
Yeah, it had all those angels and
shit. Shit, and then he killed them.
And he killed them all, even though none of them were really trying to murder him until he started shooting at them.
The other main thing about this conversation is jujus.
Oh yeah, jujus.
Oh dear fucking god, jujus.
We finally get an understanding for why Caliborne hated little Cal.
You're starting to fuck him up in your brain. Oh god.
Why Caliborne hated little Cal. It's because back then when he did see him, he was empty. He didn't have that dark rage and destruction within him that only Caliborne could give him.
Yeah, so Cal is a juju. Cal's a juju.
Yeah.
We already knew that from before. Cal's a juju. So Cal there's only one Cal. Mm-hmm. Which means that we now have it confirmed. This conversation about Cal's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Cal's doing a really big time loop right now.
Yes.
Like a really big, complicated time loop.
From beginning to end of comic,
that is very important. Cal's whereabouts at any given time are... Like Cal being in a spot is really important.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm just derailing.
Oh, go for it.
The fit he's wearing right now, I believe, is from when he fell off of Prospect in Act 2?
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
Ages ago?
So at some point in whatever big loop Lil Cal is going on, he will gain Caliborne's soul. Mm-hmm. He will go through the big loop, wind up on Alternia, which we saw.
Yeah.
And then get fused with the cue ball and the rest of the code and stuff to make Doc Scratch, which is why Doc Scratch hatches into Lord English.
Because he has a soul.
He has Lord English's soul in him.
Yeah.
In Cal. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And what you were saying as well. So, we see Gamzee. Gamzee is
mesmerized.
Or Gamzee has, given Caliborne Lil Cal right now. And so this has done a couple things. Mm. This, you're correct about that. Mm. But more specifically, this is the Cal that Dirk just dropped off the roof.
Okay.
Okay, so Bro has Cal. Dave goes to sleep and creates a dream Cal. By this point in the timeline, Cal has to already have Caliborne's soul. Caliborne is a spurred player, so Caliborne is now granted Cal a dream self. Dream Cal falls out the window, goes onto the rocket board, winds up in the meteor. Right? When John does ectobiology, he's passing out rabbits like there's no tomorrow, and he gives Dirk, baby Dirk, tiny Dirk, Lil Cal.
Yeah.
He goes through the portals, they split because of the scratch. I don't remember what's going on with the other one right now, but then the new one in the Alpha universe is empty Cal. I assume because of the split.
Yeah.
The split happens, so there's only a full Cal in one of them. This is now an empty Cal, which then grows up with Dirk through the entire time. He drops it off the roof after Caliborne talks to him, sits down there for a gajillion, flamillion, billion years.
Yeah, the earth turns to shit and dries up.
And then we get Cherubs, which proves that when he said we were on Earth, we now know specifically it is post-Scratch Earth.
Yeah.
This is the end state of post-Scratch Earth, is whatever the fuck's going on with Caliborne right now.
Yeah. This weird, it's got the book on it. Got all these statues of liberty.
It's got all this shit everywhere. We don't know why any of that has happened, but it has.
Yeah.
That's what Earth is like now. Sorry about that. If it feels like this episode's more low-key, that's because it is. I feel like we're both feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah, I am.
So this is a nice chill GrubCast. That's fine.
This is a GrubCast you could have a beer with.
Yeah, you could sit down at the picnic table with this episode, with GrubCast episode 22. It's weird that this is the most mellow episode of GrubCast when we have the most on acid part of the comic.
It gets the most chaotic. We're just balancing it out.
Yeah, really. We need this was an intentional creative choice. Basically. Fuck you for thinking otherwise.
Decided this months ago.
Any more questions on the fucking Cal situation?
Fucking Cal. No. I guess I just want to point out that I had made a comment earlier. It was a few episodes ago of man, it's so weird that Cal
is too prominent for a puppet.
He's too prominent for a puppet, but also it's weird that he doesn't that Caliborne doesn't like him, because aren't they both supposed to be the same and ultimately bring about the end of the world? But now that answer's finally been fulfilled. Now that it's been faced,
because all he understood about it before was that it was just
this is some
incredibly
juju.
Powerful, important object, and he didn't really know what it does. But now he's I think he says in this conversation, or in one later.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I knew he would be cursed, he scared me. But now I understand that I am going to curse him, so it's alright. Shit.
And now we hop over to Jane.
Yes, Jane is back at home.
He also gives it to Deuce. I don't know.
Oh, yes, he gives current Cal.
Yeah.
I think the other Cal post-split. I think this is OG Cal.
Okay.
The one he has right now. Again, it's kind of unclear the state of the Cal loop. But
it's a lot to juggle. But
I believe this is Beta Cal currently, because Beta Cal's the one that I think ends up in Hussey's office.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is what this Cal is.
Okay.
I think that's what's going on.
Fingers crossed.
So Gamzee is right now giving that Cal to Club's Deuce.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Surely that would be fine.
Why does Lord English want that? It seems like if I had everything before Murder Stuck, I feel like I would never have guessed these two characters to be doing anything important, especially not related to the bad guy.
Yeah, you had no idea that Gamzee and Cal were like these incredibly important.
I was like, oh goodness. Also, Clubs Deuce, he's popped up a lot.
Clubs Deuce is doing some work.
He does stuff in the background, and no one really cares because he's like a laughing.
He's a funny little guy, but then
gag.
he pops up and does some crazy shit, and you're like,
really,
oh my god,
okay.
Clubs Deuce.
Club.
Jesus fuck, chill dog. Damn, look at that. That's gonna show up on the microphone. I'm gonna have to go through painstaking effort to edit out your fucking keys falling on the ground. You buffoon! Everyone make fun of ET in the comments.
Don't make fun of
Do
me in the
it.
comments.
Ridicule
No.
him. I want him to cry.
My self-esteem.
Call out to Rufio. He will never forgive you. So anyway, Jane is at home and being a little sad, little sad lady.
Yeah, she's at home and she's gonna reminisce and be really sad.
I kind of feel bad about this part. You know, like you said, Jane is still worthless and nothing.
Yeah.
In terms of like objective character writing.
Yeah.
But I've started to warm up to her for like some weird reasons that I can't really describe. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's not like my favorite or anything, but I'm feeling
You have a newfound respect.
relatively respect is the wrong word.
Respect's
But I look at her and I think when I see Jane, I go, all right, I guess we're doing some Jane stuff instead of we're doing some Jane stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
It's no longer.
It's just 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Jane's graduated from a 5 to a 6.
Nice.
Jake has been demoted to like a 2. Fuck that guy. Not for any objective reasons. I just hate him.
That's fair.
Fuck him. Kill him. No more Jake. Delete him from the story.
He's plot important.
All of you, whatever. Fucking, we have better characters like Caliborne. Just replace Jake with Caliborne. I want 2 of them. Just make every character Caliborne.
Oh god.
Just have him take over the entire thing.
Honestly, if every character was Caliborne, it'd be 2 pages. It'd be all of them, yelling at each other, and then after they completed the quest,
they killed all of them.
they just all murder each other immediately.
They just all fight to the death until there's only one Caliborne left.
Oh yeah.
Be a real Citadel of Rick situation.
Citadel of Caliborne.
But like, there's stuff about. Oh, this was an old gift from Jake, and I really liked this a lot, and it meant so much to me. But now it's been like it's turned into something that makes me like feel sad about myself.
Yeah,
that's like a common thing that I think everyone kind of goes through. You know, like,
very relatable.
Yeah, stuff like I used to do this with like an old partner, like an old friend, and then like we had a falling out. Now this thing like makes me feel sad
because it holds sad memories.
That's like kind of relatable.
She flipping rips up Blue Tobias.
R.I.P. Pour one out for our man. Sorry, Blue Tobias. God, nothing really happens in this whole. This was like a lot of pages, but when you really think about it, it's like
really just mostly her
like
kind of being sad.
A couple things like that happen in this whole reading section. It's like
she gets brainwashed.
Very briefly. She very briefly gets brainwashed by her TR top computer.
Yeah.
Which that
honestly I feel like something she should have prepared for.
That won't be important at all. No, that's not going to show up. That's not going to show up, especially not in this at the end of this very reading section. Please don't read into that.
Oh man, that was such a cool scene. Anyway,
it's pretty awesome.
But
we are boned though.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah,
it was really dope, but really bad. But yeah, she gets brainwashed for a second by the Batter Witch, which she honestly knew already, so I don't know why she still made that choice, but I'm gonna let it slide.
I think she was like answering a message or something from like Pester Chum.
Yeah, but like,
and then
you know that she's the bad guy.
I mean, yeah, like Dirk gave her a non-Batter Witch computer for this explicit purpose.
That's exact reason.
You know, whatever.
But ignore it.
They have to remind you that this is a thing because of the thing that won't happen later.
Chekhov's space snap,
because of the fact that this won't be relevant, they need to set this up again really quick, just so you remember. It's fresh in your mind.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, wait, brain stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well that won't matter later.
Yeah.
Oh god, later?
I don't know what you could be referring to. But anyway,
Juju's.
Calliope's here, and it's like, hey, we forgot to say that Jake gets Caliborne's Juju.
Yeah, he gives him the code for that.
But he's too stupid to remember it.
He's not the brightest lad.
Jane is like, I'm sad because my friend is dead, but she just messaged me due to timey-wimey shenanigans. Mm-hmm. Now I have a Juju. Oh. And then Jake messages her. Mm-hmm. Is like, hey,
hey, I got the
I'm sorry.
code for this
Anyway, you
juju.
want to take this piece of shit I don't care about? And she's like, what the fuck, dude?
What a fucking loser. And then
This
she's
is not
like,
helpful.
oh, this is probably what he meant. He kept messing up that code, but this is probably
Yeah,
what he
but
meant.
he's just a fucking idiot, so it's probably this.
It's probably just the same word, but other way.
So she creates both of the jujus.
And they magnetize.
They magnetize together to create a
LSD.
big lollipop.
I mean, yeah, a big lollipop
And the lollipop
is filled
forces itself like into Jane's mouth.
with Schedule 27 narcotics. Like,
Trickster mode engage.
and boy, howdy, do they get Trickster. So,
What? This is the end of Act 6, Act 5, Act 1. We're into the acts.
X, yeah.
What? Alright, first,
Oh.
what are your initial thoughts on Trickster mode?
So, on leading up to it,
Oh, okay. Never mind, we're backtracking. Caliborne would hate us.
Caliborne would be pissed.
Nah, we're going backwards. Fuck you, Caliborne.
Fuck you. But yeah, Jane, she's examining the jujus, and they fuse together, and underneath the photo, it types suckers, and that made me think of back from forever ago when Mr. Vanilla Milkshake
Yes.
was like, suckers.
I don't know if the concept of circumstantial simultaneity has been brought up before. I think it has, but it might not have been. The way you're looking at me makes it think that it hasn't been. All it is it's canonizing to some extent in universe the idea of like weird self-references.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Whatever. It's cool, but like it's not important.
It's just kind of like a wink back at it.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's kind of like a fun law of the universe that like weird phrases will be like repeated and like similar events might happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't remember if it's actually important, genuinely, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I
For now, we'll treat it like
whatever.
it's
It's fine. But that was definitely it was a fun little reference to Doc Scratch. Looky, which
So-
of course Doc Scratch being a result of Cherub shit would be like based on Cherub shit to some degree. It's all fun.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
But my
narrative analysis.
my first instinct when seeing that was, oh, this is a bad thing. I don't know
You're
what
correct.
these things are up to, but it's got to be bad because this is Doc Scratch, and I feel like they're only going to say this when something bad happens. And then she takes crystal meth
Yep.
or acid or something bad.
It's crystal meth. How do you feel about crystal meth characters? How do you feel about tricksters? Just like your first. Most of this whole trickster section is just kind of a blur, so I feel like we'll just kind of talk about. We're not going to worry about going in chronological order here. Let's just kind of talk about this whole trickster area, kind of as one like nebulous thing that happened.
I felt like Jake's reaction when he had first run into the tricksters, and that's when Jane pops up to him and she's like, "Oh my god, I love you. We gotta have babies or some shit." And I'm like, breathe. You
Sick?
Chill.
Chill.
You are scaring the shit out of me, and that's
Yes.
really what I felt internally. Was just like, what the fuck is happening right now? Is this
Yeah.
gonna stop? Are they like this forever now?
Could you imagine? Just delete all of the characters you like.
Completely. Except for Dirk, he's fine.
Except for Dirk, who's mostly fine. So, tricksters are a weird thing that happens in the comic.
Yeah,
That-
you don't say.
That, I'm not gonna lie to you, remains pretty much completely irrelevant for everything moving forward.
Okay.
Tricksters are very strange.
Yeah.
Not just on a surface level, but on like a, why is this here level?
Mhm.
The tricksters are here for thematic reasons only, basically.
Okay. I thought it was weird because later in this bit here, Caliborne's like, "Oh, dude, turn the tricksters back on. This is fucking sick. Why'd you make me skip that shit?
Go back. This
Go back. This is awful. I wanted them to stay like that." And I thought at first, I was like, man, but like, I assumed you were the meat side of meat and candy. You just want
I'm
the
glad you're
stuff
bringing
that's
that
like
up.
gonna move the story forward.
I think that has less to do with the like meat and candy symbolism and more to do with
the
the fact that this is technically like within world building, like a cherub thing. Like cherubs are just like really into the candy jujus.
Okay.
Just like in terms of world building.
Yeah.
So they see this as like, oh my god, almost in a similar way that like Gamzee would view the Mirthful Messiah as like, oh my god, like my entire folklore is real and it's right in front of me. Holy shit! Right?
Okay.
Less of, I think that part has less to do with it. You're absolutely right to bring up meat candy shit.
Yeah.
This is, I think, whereas it's kind of been hinted at before. And I brought up the concept very early on because I wanted you to be looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, the first explicit delving into the idea that will be expanded upon in the future. You know, meat and candy, too much candy will make you sick, right? Yeah. That's this. The Tricksters are these characters filtered through, like, everything is great all the time. Yeah. We're all super happy and being friends, and let's all ship ourselves with each other, and it'll be perfect, and nothing will ever go wrong. And I think that's being deliberately contrasted with, like, the real shit conversations that Dirk is having in this section, and that Arquia Sprite is having in this section.
Yeah.
Because both of those are, like, real expressions of, like real people shit, right? Arquia Sprite has this, like, really down... Like, it's kind of funny because, you know, it's being filtered through Arquia Sprite.
Yeah,
but, like, it's a really serious moment of, like, oh my fucking god, like, Nepta, I failed to protect you. Like, I fucked it up, and you died. And, like, I will never forgive myself. Holy shit.
We'll just talk about it when we get to that conversation.
Oh, also, you were right as well. I wonder if that's what you're about to bring up.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, damn, okay, they are confirmed.
He did just kind of retreat there, like give up.
No, I guess you were right about that, huh?
Yeah, that's weird. I wouldn't have guessed it.
But, like, I think it's deliberately contrasting that and, like, the serious conversation Dirk has with, like, like, Jake, what the fuck?
Bro, you're gonna come here?
You're gonna come here with this shit
Talking
right
about
now
getting married and
after
having babies?
ignoring me for weeks? Like, dog... I understand I have... Like, he even says, he's like, dog, I understand I have issues. I'm clingy. Where does that come from, dog? It's the trauma of living on a planet with no other people for my entire life. Like, is this not a thing we can work through? Am I not a person that, like, deserves recognition and, like...
We can't talk about
any amount of leeway?
Yeah.
No? Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But it's that contrasted deliberately with, like, a very surface level, like... All of, like, the fact that they say it so specifically. We've solved all our interpersonal issues, right? Like, I don't know. There's clearly so much there, and yet it's so hard to, like, get to because Tricksters are very obtuse.
The Tricksters are so fucking weird, yeah. I see why Caliborne was so hype about this, because it just forces the narrative to move forward. It's like speed throughing all the like stuff that he doesn't like, which kind of just like waiting around. That might be the meat shit,
actually. That might be the meat side of it.
Yeah, it's like because now it's like, oh, we probably were gonna have to like be awkward around each other and like talk about all this stuff. No, we're fine now. Everything's cool, and we're gonna go do every other stuff.
The Trickster shit is formed by the combination of the red and the green juju.
Yeah,
I think you're actually onto that perfectly. There you go. Good shit. Yeah, it's. You know, you have two different types of, like, fan, and both of them want the other fan to get fucked and for it to cater to them.
Yeah.
The idea is that Hussey is sitting here and being like, if I placate you, right, if I give you everything you tell me that you want, the result will be... the result will be trivialization and flanderization and, like, the removal of anything meaningful.
Yeah, it will take away the ability for anyone on any level of existence to give a shit.
Part of this... Now, way back, I was waiting to see how this would go. Way back when we started reading, did you go into your settings and flip the, like, restore cut content switch? Because I told you to.
You did tell me to. Don't know if I did.
Did you when Jane tells Jake how she's feeling, what did she say?
Nothing really of note.
Well, you would have gotten one of two things. If you go to Homestuck.com and go to like the Trickster section right now, she will tell Jake, I'm feeling just peachy.
Yeah.
Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you didn't flip the switch.
Okay.
That is not the original dialogue. Originally, when this page came out, she shows up and says, Jake, and he's like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you okay? And she's like, no, I'm feeling so Caucasian. And with like a little infographic of like the exact Pantone skin color that was used to color in the Tricksters.
So Caucasian.
People got mad. And I'm gonna be honest, as someone who wasn't around when this page came out, I don't know why.
Why?
But people got really pissed off about this. I guess because they thought it was like canonizing the race of the characters or something. That'd be the only way I can think of people getting upset about it.
Because otherwise, it's just like a really silly thing.
It's
to
just
say.
like
I feel like so.
Like I see that, and like combined with the entire rest of like the thematic context of Tricksters.
Yeah.
Like, listen, it is what it is. Most Homestuck like fan art that doesn't make the characters like Homestuck race tends to draw them as white. Yeah. You usually get Dave gets headcanoned as a person of color a lot. Roxy occasionally, Jade occasionally, and that's all fine. Usually, though, when people draw it, they end up just making all the characters white. Yeah, it is what it is. If I had to assume, it would be in reference to that. I don't think this was... Hussey's gone on record saying he's made his characters aracial on purpose.
No race.
So I don't know. I highly doubt this would be Andrew Hussey after that statement coming out and being like, actually, fuck you, they're all white.
All white.
I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. People in the comments will be sure to tell me why people actually got mad about this.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about it.
Also, feeling just peachy is not funny and doesn't... I don't know what that means. To the point where, like, you weren't even sure what I was referring to.
No, yeah. Like, just peachy. Like, I know that in general means, like, oh, yeah, I'm hunky-dory. Like, I'm all good. Just peachy.
I'm feeling so Caucasian. It's very funny. Yeah,
that's just, like, a really funny thing to hear.
Yeah, like, that line of dialogue. Like, the phrasing of that is so fucking funny.
Caucasian.
Yeah. This is also the Tricksters. Another fun little fact: the Tricksters' visual design is based off of, I think, a secret in like one of the very old walk around flashes with John. I think don't quote me on this. I think there's some secret you can do in the very beginning of Act 2 where you get to like walk around in John's house. Where like you'll activate a thing and you'll activate like Trickster John. The idea, it was meant to be like a reference, him being like a funny clown guy. But now that has been like canonized within the story as the cherub jujus. Yeah. That original appearance of Trickster John is still non-canon as far as I'm aware. Okay. But anyway, that's just a fun little thing, I guess. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about Tricksters?
About the Tricksters?
Fafetta explodes.
Fafetta explodes. Dear sweet
beautiful
explosion.
Fafetta. She's dead.
Goodbye. The Tricksters can see invisible people.
Yeah, they can.
But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were literal gods at this point.
I mean, they're probably very powerful. Going alongside of like what we talked about, like skipping all of the struggle and everything, I'm sure Tricksters are so powerful they can just crush anything. Yeah. So I'm really willing to let that slide. I like that Trickster Dirk is still just Dirk. Yeah. he's like, yeah, like I'm like, I guess more beat now. I'm whimsical themed. He can kind of, I guess, it works on the surface level, but he can't accept it. He can't buy into the lie. On a thematic level, I feel like that would represent, like, us, I guess. We're like, if this actually happened in the story, both me and you would be like, yo, what the fuck? Excuse me? What did you do? That's ridiculous. I hate it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching there.
No, yeah. It feels like solid interpretation.
Dirk's pretty good. I like that. Did you actually do it? In Dirk's little flash animation.
Oh, yeah, where you, like, dance.
Where you have to press the arrow key, like, 1,000 times. I actually did that.
I was mashing.
I had my second keyboard plugged in, so I could press the right arrow key with both of my fingies. It's beautiful.
You don't really get anything for it, but
No.
it is fun.
It's pretty good. It hits you with the, would you like to play again?
Yeah, would you like to play again? I'm good.
And no, fuck no. And if you click either of them, it starts it over. I don't have much else to say on Tricksters. They do a little, like...
We got some lore on Zillyhoo.
Yeah, I guess we got some lore on Zillyhoo.
The location.
I don't remember any of it.
I
was a little bit lost in the Trickster.
In all the Trickster mode. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But apparently each weapon is based on a location, but the names are so sacred that they can't ever say them.
Yeah.
So whenever someone tries to figure out which weapon goes where, they end up doing an Abbott and Costello bit of like, who's on first?
Yeah.
No, that's Zilly Y. Zilly Y? Well, I'm right here. It's like...
I don't know. It's some part of like troll folk, or not troll, cherub folklore.
Yeah.
We're moving to...
It kind of looked like, the map reminded me of Avatar The Last Airbender for some reason.
Oh my god. Trickster Avatar.
The Trickster Avatar.
Yes.
Oh god.
Korra will become even more powerful once she enters her
no.
Trickster form.
I think at that point she could probably take on Goku.
Yeah, no, for sure. Trickster Goku! Fuck yes.
Ultra Instinct Trickster Shaggy.
Dictator Dirk, if you're listening to this, I know you've been posting Dragon Ball edits in the server. You better fucking make Trickster Goku, you understand me? So, Trickster shit finally wears off.
Yeah, they finally get on the come down, and all of them have sugar hangovers.
And Caliborne is like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Why'd you turn it off? This was amazing.
I appreciate that thing where he's like, I will suffer through whatever you want, but I refuse to go fucking backwards. Hussey kind of gives him the whole like spiel about this, people aren't like you. Like, I understand that this is very important to you, but like people, we need to like grow and change and whatever. Yeah. Caliborne doesn't give a shit.
We can't just speed through these
like,
processes.
That's fucking lame, bro. Move on. And more of that based alpha Chad energy that I like to see in my man Caliborne. I really like I talked about it a little bit like the other day. I really just like Caliborne having this like protagonist-esque deal to him. Like,
yeah,
it's like he says in this conversation, like he'll do whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
I'll suffer through picking up weird keys under rocks and shit. I'll watch the dumbest, most inane bullshit on the planet.
But
whatever.
I will be the greatest Hokage ever.
But yeah, exactly. Believe it. I will, and as long as I will do whatever I need to make progress. But don't you dare fuck with like my ability to reach my goal. I love that shit. It's cool. Even stuff like right at the end of this whole bit, like Caliborne engage or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The simultaneous key, right?
Caliborne plus Gamzee's engaged.
Yeah. Think about what the dead session is, right? It's a punishment.
Uh-huh.
It's fuck you for being. You think you're so cool for my sperm?
You got all the hubris,
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, then I'm gonna fuck you. Screw you. I hate you. Die. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it presents you with just like the most boring, terrible session of all time. And think about these keys in like a normal dead session. It's the ultimate fuck you.
Yeah.
You've come all this way, but now you need another person to progress. So you can't. You'll just sit here and die. Right?
Yeah.
You'll die of starvation eventually. Like that's what this is. And yet Caliborne, because he's the coolest motherfucker on the planet, through sheer force of will, he perseveres. He gets shit done. He
sends a clown back in time.
He sends him a clown back in time to make sure he can actually do it. Nothing will keep this man down. He's gonna get his shit done. And I love that about him. Fuck yes.
Yeah. That dude, he does have big protagonist energy, I can't lie.
Alright. Act 6, Act 5, Act 1 × 2 combo is what this section is referred to.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's in like the banner page.
Jesus Christ.
Because we're getting 2 panels per page. How much did you die a little bit inside when you like looked at the pages and were like, oh my god, there's 2 pestle logs for every fucking page?
Time. A little bit.
A little bit.
Not gonna lie.
There's some good stuff in here, but like, man, it's a lot of.
So it's a bit of a slog.
It's a bit of a slog in this section. Don't worry, it will get worse.
I think. I think if it were me, I'd probably like cut it down. Like, don't get me wrong, some of them were light, but having to read through 2 like whole pester logs is like, oh my goodness.
It's a little much. It's a little much for sure.
But an advantage to having the 2 pages going on at once, the paneling. Exquisite.
It's great. It's so good. The paneling throughout this whole section, especially those like where it's like 6 panels that like all show like one big image. That's super high.
I'm a big comic book guy. These panels, oh my god.
Yeah, no, they're hype as fuck. Let's talk about the conversation. This is essentially being told simultaneously. Where like these conversations are happening and a bunch of different shit is happening in the panels, like what's happened before.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the conversations first, and then we'll go back and talk about what's going on in these panels here.
Yeah. Right now, it seems like everyone's a little too shy or embarrassed to come out to the other of like, oh, guys, like...
They're all just kind of sitting on their... The Trickster shit's finally worn off. Jane got rid of it. Mm-hmm. And they're all just kind of... Just kind of sad and hungover and not really feeling it. Yeah. Shulk from Smash Brothers is not here to really feel it with them. And that's unfortunate. And they're going to talk a lot about their feelings. They're going to do it a whole lot.
Yeah. They really just kind of like tell each other like, oh, bro, like, it's not really that deep. Like, what? I never felt that way about them. I was just like upset in the moment about this thing. And they go over all these contrivances, but something I really like was or something I found funny was I think either Dirk or Roxy has to go through 2 people. That's
pretty good. It was Jake like trying to Jake's being a little bitch as all. All right, of course. All right, so Jake. Start with Jake here. Jake's just kind of feeling like, man, I sure did bungle things up with my buddies.
I really borked it.
None of them like me anymore. Man, I'm also too much of a little fumby to talk to them about it. And then...
Can you say that on YouTube?
Susan, no. It was a made-up slur. It's not real.
I promise.
Yeah, Jake's... That's most of what's going on with Jake, honestly.
Yeah,
there's really a lot more interesting stuff going on with literally everyone else that isn't Jake. Mm-hmm. What a surprise!
His big thing is, man, I'm so worried I hurt their feelings, but also I'm too ashamed and embarrassed to talk about it with them. Roxy, could you talk to everyone that's upset with me, please?
Could you apologize to everyone for me, thereby negating any meaningfulness in my apology? Thank you.
Thank you. I know I could just turn around, but...
And I don't think this was the artistic intent. I feel like they're trying to do some shit with Jake, but man, I don't care. That feels a little bit harsh to say, but like, it's like, man, I really don't care that Jake like feels bad. Like, whatever. I don't give a shit.
I'm a bit more charitable. Like, I understand where he's coming from of like, oh my god, like this is so much. Like, I really fucked up, and I fucked up to a level that I just don't think they'd ever want to hear from me again. But... you are the last 4 humans in existence. Maybe try to face that head on, adventurer.
We talked about it before. This is why Dirk is based. When Dirk has problems with people,
he runs at them head
talks
first.
About it. Jake just puts his fucking head in the sand. Is like, la la la, nothing's wrong, everything's fine, and like, that's good, consistent character writing, I suppose. But it does make me hate him. It's like. This is not like an objective writing flaw.
No, this is consistent character.
Yeah, I hate this is character. Fine characterization. I just hate him. That's all. Like,
I feel neutral apathy, I think.
Well, it's all right. You can be wrong. All right, we're not talking about Jake anymore.
Yeah.
So Dirk and Jane are talking about the whole Jake situation.
Yeah.
Like, man,
like, bro, if I would have, I took it into consideration, but I thought. You not having a penis and me having a penis. I assumed you had an advantage, so I didn't really want to sell myself short in like my tactfulness, but I also wasn't looking out for my friend.
That's and all that jazz. It's kind of an interesting conversation, but it mostly just boils down to like, man, we both weren't really thinking straight when it came to the Jake Dar.
Yeah.
And we probably should have been smarter about it.
They got wrapped up in that quaint British accent.
Most of the more interesting stuff, I think, comes from the stuff relating to Dirk and Roxy, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of the meat here comes in. Roxy is talking about, like, drinking stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, my drinking is like a problem.
Yeah.
And there's very clearly some like self-consciousness there. Man, there's some shit that I would have said to her that I thought Dirk was going to, but he kind of didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But like he said some other really great shit, and instead, so it's fine.
Okay.
But Roxy's kind of talking about like this idea that, oh, I thought I like fixed my addiction and shit, and I hadn't. I was like looking for an excuse, and I don't. We're about to like meet my mom and everything, and whereas before I drank as like an excuse to like feel closer to her because it seemed like she did. Mm-hmm. Now, like I don't want to disappoint her with that, right? I want to be like put together. I don't want her to see me as like this wreck. But specifically, it's the stuff she talked about how like I was looking for an excuse, right? I was looking for an excuse to get back on it, and the first little thing that showed up, I took it, and I just want to be like, damn, it's all right, like
bro, you were trickstered, like
at the end of the day. It's not. Well, it's more the idea that I think she's beating herself up over like wanting to drink when in reality I'd be like, that doesn't matter. It's all about like whether or not like you will power through it. And at the end of the day, against your will, you got crystal meth. I don't know if that's really your fault.
It feels like it's not really a judgment of character issue.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like talking to Dirk about that. Dirk talks about like how he's feeling about Roxy right now, and this is probably the best part of this whole section. Is Dirk talking about Roxy, and it's this idea that like Roxy's the only one of all of us that's like actually gotten her shit together.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, I have something, I'm gonna fix it, and then she did,
and then she did it,
and like the whole time while all the rest of them are talking about, oh, do I want to fuck Jake? Does Jake want to fuck that other guy? What are we gonna do? Roxy's the only one that's been like. Are batting down the hatches. Let's make sure our whole group doesn't fall apart. Let's all be friends.
Yeah, and she would have also been down to fuck and get all lost up in that teen drama bullshit.
But she was like, no.
She was like, no.
That's got important shit to deal with. I'm gonna make sure everything's running smoothly.
Yeah, she gets bonus points from me for that.
Yeah, I think this is the start of when I was saying like, remember how I said before. Roxy gets really good, but like later.
Yeah,
this is like the start of that.
Okay.
Like gets some nice Roxy stuff. It's pretty good.
Hopefully, I'll be able to forgive her for being a snitch.
You gotta let it go, Doug.
I can't.
You gotta let it go.
He's your boy.
You gotta let it go. It's one thing. Listen, no one's perfect. All right, it's one thing. You gotta let it go. Except for Vriska. Vriska is perfect, and when she kills people, it's okay.
Except for her.
That's mostly all I have to say about these whole conversations with the kids.
Yeah, that's really about it. I think that basically covers it.
All right, final stretch here.
In the background of this whole conversation, we find out that Jack looked into the abyss.
So the first thing we see is actually we get to see Caliborne put his soul into Cal.
Yeah.
Looking at him.
By just looking at him.
And like, I guess that's a thing you can do.
Yeah, I guess. Man, give me real Bard of Rage vibes.
real Gamsian. Yeah, no, I guess that's something he can do now. And there we go. Cal now has his soul in him. Mm-hmm. Now in current day times.
Yeah, it pops up on Prospect in Jack's cell.
Yeah, that's why he was giving it to Close Deuce earlier. This is the one he gave to Close Deuce to deliver it to him.
All right, and that's when he looked at him.
And he looks at him.
And he gets hit with the fucking pool ball eyes.
Yes, so he has now been Lord Englished, basically.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got.
We have a lot of Jacks to juggle here. But so now Jack is a Lord English Jack.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's like this really awesome thing where he like stabs out his own fucking eyes.
Yes, he stabs those eyes.
Metal.
Puts those eyes in.
Holy fucking shit, it's awesome.
And then he fucking stands atop the moon while the other one's like on the chain in the background. It's sick.
And then the Condesce shows up. Uh-oh. And then Jack Noir and the Condesce blow up Prospect and Dirk.
Yes, in one single attack.
One fell swoop.
Just
boom. They're gone. Fuck. But that's okay. All 4 of our alpha kids are now god tiered.
Yeah, it killed him on the slab, so it was all good. Man,
that's good. Like that's really cool. Not as cool as when the other ones did, though.
It does feel like a little cheaper than the other one. It's like, oh, okay, we have to like figure out this whole thing, and then oh wait, no, we fell for this greater plot the whole time. This one's kind of like, oh man, how do we get here? Oh shit, the bad guy showed up.
I mean, like,
Death?
well, like let's just call it like it is. Hussey got tired of waiting, and he teleported them to their quest beds. And then immediately blew them up.
And then killed them, because that's...
like, that's what this was. Like the Tricksters... Like, Trickster shit happened. I guess they flew to Prospit and Durst.
Yeah, and then just chilled there.
And then Trickster shit wore off and chilled there. And, like that's what that was. It was like, Hussey got tired of waiting.
How do I get them there?
And teleported them into God tiering.
How do I make them characters right now?
So, like, it's cool...
Yeah, no,
but it doesn't feel nearly as, like, earned. Yeah, exactly.
It's really dope, but yeah, I completely agree. It just feels cheaper.
But now all of them are God tier, but now it's fucked up because they're gonna face off. They're gonna face off
against Condesce and
Condi and Jack are both here, and they're gonna fight, and then Jane shows up.
She flies through the window and fucking teleports in front of them.
Our fucking guys are here. It's finally over. They're here.
They're here. The cavalry's arrived. And she fucking snaps Jack to the, I assume the furthest ring is where she sent him?
Yes, she sent Jack way the fuck out there. Just way far out there. Just really far out.
And that was handled, and I was
just
like, all right.
a long way away.
Yes.
There he goes.
We're winning, boys. We are coming up. And
Problem.
then the Condesce was like, actually.
Condesce says, oh shit, you're a dog?
You're a dog?
Bark, bark, motherfucker. And then she mind controls Jade
animals.
using Vriska Tavros' mind control?
Yeah. Somehow. I have no idea why that's an ability she has, because Fefri never really had anything like that, and we haven't seen Mina do anything of the sort. She just stole those from Tavros and Vriska.
I guess. I don't know.
Somehow.
I genuinely don't know. But she can. Using Tavros's mind control powers on animals, she has taken over Jade.
Yeah.
Jade is now evil. Well, she's used Vriska to take over Tavros to take over Jade.
But, like, if she could do... Why did she...
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not pointing this outburst at you. It's more at the general narrative at hand.
I'm just as concerned as you are.
Just like, wait, but like, why would you even need both of them? You just pick him.
And this is like, now a problem.
Why?
Because
oh yeah,
Jade was like, we were just talking about this at work. Remember how we were like, oh, Jade could body the other 3 kids easy.
She could easily body those kids.
The whole time we were talking about that, I was like, because
she does. She does that single-handedly.
She's here. Immediately teleports Dirk way the fuck out there.
He's the biggest threat. Yeah.
Yes.
Get him far away.
And then on top of that,
that was so cool. She uses her space powers to look at Jane's house on the planet, and then snaps the tiara top to her head.
And it's just like immediately, boom, now she's mind control.
And now you're mind control. Cool.
And that mind control makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's
actually... set up and shit. Now, all of a sudden, in an instant,
what turned into a 4v2 is
Jane is evil. Jade is evil. Dirk is off in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Roxy has been knocked out and has now been stolen by the Condesce.
Oh, I didn't think she got knocked out. It looked like she was just getting dragged.
Or she was just getting dragged around.
Like, I can't fight them.
I guess maybe it was that. I don't know.
Just like, shit.
So, fuck.
Yeah, no. Things went from on top of the world to really bad so fast.
This is a problem.
It was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it was like, damn, look at them. They're all gods here now. Oh, God.
All the boys are here. Jane's here. Oh. Springtrap 2 times combo.
That's gonna smart. Oh, you don't like to see that, for sure. Well.
Is that it?
That's it. That's literally all that happens. So all that happens in this whole section is Jake talks to Caliborne, Tricksters, long conversation, and then the God tier. Like that was like 300 pages of content.
Suckers.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's
do you have any, like, conclusions to draw from this? We're fucked. I feel like that's how we've ended most of our episodes. The conclusion is,
oh my god,
damn,
we're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die, bro.
There's literally no way out of this, and then they figure it out.
Whoa, what is this,
I'm
like...
just
Oh.
waiting for...
I almost I will rescind my outro.
I'm just waiting for the rest of the gang to show up. I'm hoping that those forces combined will be enough to free our boys here.
Oh boy, you have no idea.
Oh god, why'd you say it like that? It's so nervous.
So everybody, next time we're going to be reading through all of Act 6 Intermission 5.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to read through Act 6 Intermission 5.
6 Intermission
now,
5.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Ooh.
It is not this next section. But the section after that is my favorite part of the whole comic.
Really?
We're getting into some really good shit the week after next week.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited.
But yes, we're going to read through all of Act 6, Intermission 5.
Yeah.
And then we will finally reach Act 6, Act 6.
Goodness, that's crazy.
Which will, of course, be broken up into 6 sub-acts.
Yeah, which will obviously be put into acts. But, man, we're almost there.
We're getting up to it. We're like 3/4 the way there as of this section, I think.
And these will be the shortest acts thus far.
Yeah, no, we're like 2,000. We're
into.
closing in. We're like 2,000 pages off finishing it.
Sheesh.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
Act 6 Intermission 5 for next episode.
Goodness.
Fuck yes. What is that rumbling I feel underneath my feet?
I also felt an earthquake, but I thought I was just farting really hard.
No, that was... Oh, God. It's going even worse.
Whoa.
The whole... Oh, my God. My walls are fucking crumbling.
Oh, God. What's happening?
It's Jake Dar. He has the entire billiards pool table sticking out of his face.
That can't be safe.
It's so fucked up. He's shooting his big mega laser beam.
I'm gonna die again.
I feel like this happens at the end of every episode. We're in horrible mortal peril. Quick, run!
Someone
God.
grab a microphone.
Get
a crowbar.
Man, I really hope we'll be able to figure out this wacky predicament. Find out next
time.